Good evening. It is wonderful to be with you once again. I love you all with all my heart, unconditionally, unequivocally. All is well. Most of you have come here to listen to words. You want to hear me say something profound, something different, something unusual. How many years have you been listening to words? Since you were born. And all the words have done for you is today you believe what is real is false, and what is false is real. As an example, you believe the world to be real. You believe your body, your mind to be real. You believe that everything your senses show you and tell you is real. That's a lie. And you believe ultimate reality, perfection, infinite love, absolute awareness doesn't exist. Or if it exists, you don't know anything about it. The truth is, it's just in reverse. What you cannot comprehend, what you cannot see, touch, feel, smell, taste, is the reality. And what you've been worshiping all these years, a home, a couch, a chair, a car, money, the body, is false. It's false because you have to leave it in the end. That which is not true all of the time cannot be real. And everything in this universe changes to something else. No thing lasts forever. Therefore, no thing is real. This is the reason we have this world in the precarious condition it's in today. For people have been believing in things that change, things that come to an end, and you're always disappointed. The life that appears to you today can only lead to disappointment due to the fact it has to change. Yet, there is something that is unchangeable, unmutable, something you can rely upon, something that will always take care of you and save you and watch over you. And that something is yourself. You are the one. Yourself is not your body, or your mind, or your thoughts, or your opinions. Yourself is absolute reality. Yourself is existence, knowledge, bliss. You are that self. People still want to know what happens to people who are realized when they awaken to this truth. What good is this teaching if it does not bring you peace, happiness, love, freedom? Many of you have never known real happiness, real peace. You believe that things of this world bring you happiness. And you are conditioned to believe certain things here make you happy. Certain things in this world make you sad. You've been brainwashed, hypnotized. Yet, how many people want to know the truth? How many people really want freedom and liberation? For no purpose whatsoever. Just to be free and liberated. It is true when you are liberated. The world no longer has a hold on you. The universe, the world, people, places, and things can no longer frighten you. You become radiantly happy just by being. In order for you to be happy today, you think you need certain things in your life. You think if you win the lotto, you'll be happy. If you have a new house, you'll be happy. If you have a new husband or a new wife, you'll be happy. You have an endless list of the things that it takes to make you happy. Yet you find through experience that when you achieve these things, the happiness is only short-lived. And then you have to search again. It never ends. Yet I say to you, your real nature is pure happiness, peace. All you have to do is discover it within yourself. For you are that. You have always been that. There is absolutely nothing wrong in this world whatsoever. It is you who see the error. For instance, you believe that if somebody dies, that is bad. Why is that bad? Due to the fact that you don't understand what death is. Death is like sleep. When you lie down and go to sleep, you awaken. Yet when you slept, you lost consciousness. You're not aware of this world any longer. And when you awaken, you say, I slept soundly. I feel good. I feel wonderful. Where were you when you slept? What happened to you? Death is similar. You simply go to sleep to this world and you wake up feeling refreshed and happy. Everything else is the same way. The unknown is the reality. The known comes to an end and brings misery. We therefore have to seek the unknown. And again, the place to seek is within yourself. All of the answers are within you. Everything that you've ever been looking for is within you. We have to change our minds and begin to go inward instead of outward. We have learnt as we grew older, in school, in the streets, that we have to be extroverted to get along with people. Take a look at the world and look at what these extroverted people are doing. The extroverted people are all of your politicians, all of the leaders of this world. These are the people that make the rules and regulations, and they are extroverted. But the truth is that you have to become introverted. In other words, you have to go within yourself and find this truth we're talking about. This reality, this peace, this love, this joy that never changes. You have to look for it yourself. Search for it until you find it. It is within you. You are that. You don't have to travel anywhere or read any books or run to different classes. You merely have to take the time to be by yourself and turn within. By turning within, I mean you have to quiet the mind. You must use any method you can to quiet the mind. It is the mind that has all of these beliefs. For instance, when we talk about a certain subject, such as healing, health, we have been brought up to believe we are a body. And a body can catch a cold, become sick, develop cancer, die. All of these false opinions have been accepted by us subconsciously. Then collectively these things happen to us, and this enforces our belief. Yet the ultimate truth about healing is that nobody ever became sick. Therefore, there is no one to heal. This is the ultimate truth. There is no health and there is no sickness. Yet most of us do not understand this ultimate truth except intellectually. So we take a step down when we discuss healing and health. When you look at your body without consciousness, it is simply a heap of flesh with bone and fluids. This is all your body is. A heap of flesh with bones and fluids. Now the flesh in itself cannot get sick. If you were just a piece of flesh, and you are, you believe you are a body with bones and fluids. The flesh cannot catch a cold, cannot develop cancer, cannot have any disease. For there is no consciousness. There is just flesh. It is the same when you're sleeping. When you're in deep sleep, you are not aware if you have cancer or AIDS or anything else. You are free of these things when you are asleep. In the same way, if you are just a heap of flesh, and you are, without any consciousness, it is virtually impossible for you to get any kind of disease. But then consciousness comes into the picture. Can you say that consciousness brings the disease? On the contrary, consciousness is all-pervading. It is the substratum of all existence. If consciousness knew anything about disease, the whole universe would be immediately destroyed. Yet when consciousness animates your body, you become like a puppet. You're able to move, run, dance, sing, speak, for you have been animated by consciousness. Prior to this, you were a heap of flesh. Now consciousness is animating you, and you're able to walk, talk, speak, hear. Everything comes to pass. But the flesh has not done this. Consciousness has done this. Just like the print on the paper that I talked about last week. The paper is consciousness, and the print is your body. If the paper were not available, there would be nowhere to put the print. So if consciousness were not there, there would be no body whatsoever. Consciousness is absolute reality, pure awareness. Can you therefore say that consciousness has brought disease to the body? Of course not. Therefore, it appears to be a mystery. If the bodily flesh by itself cannot become sick, and consciousness is free of disease, where does the disease come from? Well, there appears to be a knot between the consciousness and the flesh. A knot that separates the consciousness from the flesh. This knot is called imagination. It is the imagination that brings the sickness, the fears, the frustrations, and everything else to the flesh. The imagination. In our case, the imagination has brainwashed us since we were children. Perhaps from past lives also, to believe in sickness, in lack and limitation, and all of these negatives that appear to be real. Consciousness exists. It appears to be dormant, for the imagination has taken over and makes the flesh believe that it has cancer or anything else. Cold, disease. It is like the snake in the rope. Imagine you live in Texas, in the desert, and you are aware of all the rattlesnakes. You go to your house during twilight time. You're going to take a bath. There is a coiled rope lying on the floor that you have forgotten that you put there yourself. In the twilight hours, you can't see clearly, and the rope looks like a rattlesnake. So immediately you stop short, and the imagination begins to work. You start to perspire in fear. The heart starts palpitating. You start shaking. Your imagination has done this to you. It has caused your body to react a certain way, and symptoms appear. Palpitations, shaking, fear. Then you grab an axe and hit the rope. Then you discover it's a rope. It's not a rattlesnake at all. And you start laughing. The fear disappears. The palpitations stop. The sweating stops. But look what happened to you from this false assumption. The water in the Mirage is another example. You've been in the desert a long time. You're very, very thirsty. You want a drink of water. You've got to be real thirsty for your imagination to take over. All of a sudden you see an oasis a couple of yards away. Beautiful flowing water. Shade trees. You crawl over. There's nothing there but sand. It's a mirage. Do you see what I'm getting at? The knot between consciousness and your body is the imagination. It is the imagination that causes you to believe and think something is wrong. You believe disease is real, and the imagination causes your belief to become real for you. A simple example is a belief that you're going to catch a cold because you're walking in the rain. In truth and reality, the rain cannot give you a cold. It cannot do anything for you except make you wet. Yet you believe the rain can do this to give you a cold. And sure enough, you catch a cold. And all of your life you believe these things. You pass this information on to your children. Do not walk in the rain, you'll catch a cold. And they pass it to their children, so forth and so on. Think of all the things you believe right now that are false. Think of all the beliefs that have been imposed upon you. Just about 99% of everything you believe is a lie. That is a heavy one, but it's true. 99% of all the things you believe is a lie. This is why in the higher teachings we are told to stop the mind from thinking. For all of these beliefs are in the mind like dormant seeds waiting to sprout. By dormant seeds, I mean everything is quiet. Everything is still until something happens. Until there is a storm and you get wet. You believe you're going to catch a cold. Those are the dormant seeds I'm talking about. Your belief system becomes activated and you catch a cold. But you have invented the cold. You have invented the disease. I know some of you think that is a strange thing for me to say. AIDS is so rampant. Cancer is so rampant. Heart conditions is so rampant. And I'm saying that you are causing these things? Collectively, we all believe the same things, so it seems. So collectively, we cause the conditions to become worse by accepting them as real. Metaphysical movements, occult movements, try to teach you to renounce these things and use affirmations and so forth in their place. But this is all kindergarten. The only way to get rid of the false assumptions, the samskaras, the mental impressions that have been with you for centuries, life after life, is by destroying the mind totally and completely. And the way to destroy the mind is through inquiring. Who has a mind to begin with? Who has a mind to begin with? The truth about you is you are mindless. Your mind idea is just a belief. It is only a belief that you have a mind that causes you problems, that causes you to become sick. This is a belief. And this is a belief that has to be transcended and transmuted. You are not the mind. You are not the body. You are not the samskaras. You are absolute reality, pure awareness. This is your true nature. Therefore, the fastest way in this age to transcend the mind is through Atma Vichara, or self-inquiry. You have to work within yourself. You have to observe these beliefs of humanity. And as you feel them yourself, inquire, to whom do they come? Who has these beliefs? Who feels this? You will say, I feel this. I feel sickness. I believe this is like this. This is like that. All the things you've been talking about, I believe. There is the answer. The I that you're speaking of is not you. The I is the first person. The first thought that ever comes into your mind is I. For don't you say to yourself, I feel this. I have a cold. I feel sick. I have AIDS. I have cancer. This is a clue for you. Think of what you're saying. You're saying, I have these things. Not I am, the real you, but I. The I we're talking about is a thought. The I thought is connected to all the things of this world. And when you get rid of the I thought, everything else will go with it. This is why this is called the direct method and the fastest method to become free and liberated. For you're not trying to remove thoughts. You're not trying to heal yourself. You're not trying to see the truth. You're working on eliminating the I that has caused you all these troubles, all these problems. You step back and examine the I. You begin to realize all of your life. You say to yourself, I am this and I am that. I have pain. I hate this. I love this. I feel terrible. I feel good. It is always the I. It is this I that has to go. The I is the mind. Same thing. The I has to be totally eliminated. And the only way to do this is to follow it to its source by inquiring, who am I? Which means, what is the source of the I? The source of the I is absolute reality. Satchitananda, ultimate oneness, nirvana. Yet you do not experience these high states. Therefore, as far as you're concerned, they do not exist. But your I does exist. Your I has always existed, so it appears, since you were born. At least you realize that your job in this life is to follow the I and destroy it. Again, it is only destroyed when you follow it to the source. When you follow it to the source, your personality disappears, which is your personal I. You become all-pervading, omnipresent, joy, happiness, and bliss. This is the most important work that you have. Most of you believe that your work is important. The things that you do every day is important. They have some relevancy, of course. But you're going to die one of these days. When you're in your deathbed, will you be concerned about your work? Will you be concerned about your family or the world or politics or anything else? When you're on your deathbed, you will be full of fear, because you're going to leave this world and everything in it. And you're going into an unknown quantity, an unknown place that you never heard of before. You have no idea where you're going. It is something unknown. Therefore, at that time, you will give up all of your politics. You will give up all of your wants, your needs. Why wait until then? Why not give it up now? For if you give it up now, you will enter reality where there is no birth and no death. No good and no bad. No duality whatsoever. No universe, no world, no others, no body, no mind. You have become what we call God, which is the absolute reality. Therefore, if you are wise, you will begin immediately to work on yourself. This doesn't mean you have to give up anything, except mentally. You will begin diligently to work on yourself every moment of the day. When you feel hurt, you feel sick, you feel disgusted, you feel depressed, you feel the world closing in on you. You inquire within yourself. Who feels this? To whom does it come? What is the source of the I? Become quiet and still. And everything will take care of itself.